I earned more income in a job than I earned in a business.
Okay.
Okay. I earned like almost 10, 15 times more than whatever I earned in a business.
For business things, I think Harvard Business School is also available for free in YouTube
Correct.
for those who want to watch them.
Yes.
Y Combinator is a best choice.
Correct.
The problem is people do not access these things.
Right.
And hello, Mr. Amit Patel, sir. Welcome to this show.
Hi, Yash. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. First of all, I'm honored to have you in this show right now. So before proceeding further about the questions, can we just have your introduction with your experience? Like how many years of experience do you have?
Yeah. So, yes, I started my career in 1995. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm a engineer from electronics background, but I jumped into software. Okay.
All right.
And my first company, I was a customer support for software. And from there, my journey started into a software company. I have about 23 years of experience. Okay. And
Wow.
in 2017, after working for 23 years continuously, during
Okay.
that 23 years, I've done everything. I've done software development to managing teams to everything. Okay. But
Acha.
in 2017, I decided to take a drop, a sabbatical, and
Okay.
do something different. And that was, I wanted to become a speaker, coach, mentor
Mm-hmm.
for entrepreneurs who are in the software field
All
and
right.
to help engineers with their career. So I do both of them. I help
Okay.
entrepreneurs as well as I guide engineers for their career
Mm-hmm.
in software.
Oh, that's great. That's like a quite a long career you have.
Yeah, so now the latest what I'm doing is I have a YouTube channel called Musings by Amit.
Exactly.
And in that channel, what I do is I answer all the questions that software engineers have with
Okay.
respect to career. So I
All right.
just post my answers to that channel.
So like anyone who is currently working in any company, he can join your channel,
Any
right?
Yes, any company,
All
any
right.
person who's working in a software company, because I'm always talking about software.
All right.
I'm talking about what are the fields within software you can do. So I'm always
Okay.
talking about an IT company. But some of my videos may be useful for other people as professionals.
All right. So currently, apart from this YouTube channel, which is Musings by Amit,
Right.
apart from this, like anything you are doing?
So this is a part of Musings by Amit,
All
because
right.
when I started Musings by Amit, a lot of people were asking me questions about becoming successful in their IT career. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
one is the skill set, like you learn Python or you learn Java programming or you learn machine learning. So one is the skill set.
Yeah.
If you gain the skill set, of course your salaries will increase, your career will grow. But then there was another area, which is the mindset. Okay.
Okay.
In this you can call it a chaotic world of software,
All
where
right.
you have to work so many hours, the work is really hard.
Exactly.
Okay, you
Yeah.
cannot estimate things properly. There are so many bugs which come out, so it's a very tough scenario within the software world. So I
Yeah.
started a program called How to Become A Players. Okay.
Okay.
And this program, How to Become A Players, is focused on the principle that software companies use to rank their employees. Okay, so
All right.
every software company, what they do is they rank their employees as A, B, and C players.
Okay.
Okay, and they will give very good salaries to A players. They'll give medium to average salaries to B players, and C players are usually not, they don't get anything, or they are the first in the line for a layoff or something.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm talking about not the layoffs which is because of the recession and other things. I'm talking of
Acha.
layoff which happens every year. Okay, in the regular scenario, like the company is doing well, even
Okay.
a good company will lay off 2 to 3% people every year. Okay,
Okay. So like,
so
if I'm not wrong, people say this TCS doesn't lay off. So is it right or wrong?
TCS does lay off. If you go back to news every year, you will see that every year there will be a news, short news somewhere, which will say TCS laid off 800 people, TCS laid off 1,000 people. These are the non-performing people. There are two kinds of layoffs, or actually
Okay.
three kinds of layoff. One layoff is very simple. The company closes down, so everybody's laid off, right? The company
All
is
right.
gone bankrupt and all. Then everybody is laid off. Like what happened in case of Jet Airways. Though Jet Airways is not a software company, but this happened that when Jet Airways went down, everybody was laid off. Correct. The
Yeah.
second kind of a layoff is a layoff where every year company will say that we want to lay off our bottom 1% or 2% people. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now if you
Yeah.
think about TCS, which has 4
Mhm.
lakh employees,
Yeah.
okay, the bottom 1% will be like 1,000 to 4,000
That
employees,
will be huge. Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Which will be big, which is actually not big, which is very
Mhm.
small number, correct?
Okay.
So every year this 1 to 2% layoffs happen. Okay,
All right.
this
All
is a
right.
regular layoff. Then the other layoff is when company, some department in the company closes down.
Okay.
Okay, and there is a very classic example of Cognizant.
Acha.
Cognizant was having some 8 to 12,000 people on their roles who were doing a certain kind of project for Facebook and Google. I don't know whether it was Google or not. I know that it was for Facebook,
Okay. Okay.
where they were handling the support request of Facebook.
Acha.
So
All
if
right.
you know, in Facebook, if your ad is um, if your ad is marked wrong, then you have to contact the support, and some person will handle that support request. They'll verify
Okay.
your ad, they will do all these things. So it's a manual. So this was a department in Cognizant. So Cognizant decided this is not the business we want to be in.
Acha.
Okay, so Cognizant totally closed down an entire unit which had 8,000 to 11, 12,000 employees. Right? So I'm
Mhm.
trying to help engineers to up their game, to
All right.
not just focus on skills, but also focus on mindset, where
Okay.
you become an A player in the eyes of the company.
Yeah. Agree.
So that program is there, which I have a funny name for my website. It's called I turn imagination to reality.com.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Okay, so on that website this program is available.
That's great. Like if anyone wants to do is all the links of these courses are given in the description, so they can just access them.
Good.
So Amit, as you said, you have around 25 years of experience in this field.
Yeah,
So
now 25,
yeah, so I
95 to
guess
now.
yeah. So I guess the question I'm going to ask you is you would be the best guy to answer this question.
Yeah.
So the question is, if someone will ask you that what is the best thing about this industry, and which is the worst thing about this industry, so
Okay.
what will be your answer?
So the best thing I will start. See, I'll talk about the worst thing later on, but I'll start with the
Sure.
best thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So the best thing about the industry, and I did a video on my channel, okay, which is about, is the IT industry still, okay, a good industry to be in after the
Okay.
COVID pandemic. Okay. So I
Okay.
did a video on my channel. Okay. And we'll give the link on this
Sure.
for
Sure.
that
Sure.
video. But when I was doing the research, IT industry has grown from some $69 billion industry in like 2010 to up to 2020, it became a $181 billion industry.
Wow.
Okay, $181 billion industry in India. I'm talking only about India.
In India,
I'm
yes.
not talking about the world. I'm talking only
Okay.
about India. Okay. So in 2020, IT industry is the second largest industry after pharmacy.
Okay.
Okay. So if you see, pharmacy is on the top because of COVID in 2020.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you see, IT was leading all the way. Okay, if you see year on year growth, the total growth is 170 some percentage. I had done the calculation, but
All right.
every year it was growing by 10 to 15%.
Great.
Okay, which means what? Which means if you are a software engineer,
Mm-hmm.
okay, even if you do normal work, even if
Yeah.
you do normal work, if you stay in this industry for 10 years, you will grow by 15% on average regularly, because see, the industry is growing, so you are going to grow unless you do
Exactly.
some stupid things, right?
Like what?
Like unless you don't pay attention to your work. So if you just do regular work, whatever
Okay.
your manager says you have to complete, okay, if you just keep completing that, then year on year your growth will be at 15% per annum. Okay, so if you start at, let's say, 3.5 lakhs per annum as a fresher in
Mm-hmm.
2010, by this 10 years at 15% per annum, this would be your salary by now. Okay, you
Okay.
see, so there will be a 173 or 175% increase in your salary from where you started.
Okay.
Okay, 3 to 4 times increase in salary. Now if you ask me, which other industry do you see this kind of a growth? Okay,
Yeah.
if you talk about accountants, okay, will they grow so fast in 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, uh, if you talk about any field, okay, except for doctors and physicians and anybody in medicine, the next industry I feel is IT industry, where they will grow really fast. Okay, now because of this scenario, I don't have anything which I can say bad about the industry. The bad thing is this: the
Mm-hmm.
bad thing is that uh, our education system is still not geared up for the kind of engineers we want, and everybody is trying to do their best to get this together, get the act together. Like industry leaders are talking about it. There
Mm-hmm.
are now there are so many ed tech platforms that are
Yes.
right. Now you don't have to apart from college, you can get your education from anywhere. So you can be doing a BE, and then you can get your education from NPTEL or Coursera or EDX or any such platform, right?
Exactly.
So you can be doing your regular BE from college, and you may say, "Oh, I want to do data science. I will do a complete 1 year data science specialization," and you may go on any of these platforms and do the specialization while you are learning in BE, and combine that, and when you come out of BE you are ready for the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you
Okay.
will then you will not get an average salary, you will start directly at a higher salary.
Exactly. But the problem is, Amit, like many people do not have idea of these things like NPTEL. So these
Yeah,
available courses, like these courses are available for free, but
correct.
many people do not even access them.
Right, right. And NPTEL is like a reply to Coursera and EDX. What happened
Exactly.
is that NPTEL is developed in collaboration with our government, our Ministry of
Yeah.
Education, along with some of the uh, oldest institutions in India like CDAC,
Exactly.
IITs,
IITs. Yeah.
IISCs. Okay, so they are developing these courses. Okay, and
Yeah.
all the courses are offered by professors from IIT.
Exactly.
So just imagine this: you could not get into IIT, but you can still learn data structures in C, C++
Exactly.
from a IIT professor instead
Yes.
of your own professor
And for free.
for free.
Yeah.
Okay, for free.
Like for
So
those who do not know what is NPTEL, those people can just YouTube it,
yes,
NPTEL, and all the courses will be in front of you for free of
right,
cost.
right, right. Yes. I think for computer science, they have like 56 courses. And these are the actual, uh, actual subjects which are taught in the college. If you
Exactly.
understand,
Yeah.
within IITs, whatever actual subjects are taught, these are the actual subjects. And they are not just courses in computer science, they are courses in all fields of engineering. So you
Mhm.
can go to aeronautical engineering, you can go to civil engineering, you can go to chemical engineering, any kind of engineering, you will find these courses.
Yes.
And I think they are also now tying up with IIM for the business
Oh,
courses.
yeah. Like for business things, I think Harvard Business School is also available for free in YouTube
Correct.
for those who want to watch them.
Yes.
Y Combinator is a best choice.
Correct.
The problem is people do not access these things,
Right.
and is available for
Before,
free.
yeah, before, see, the challenge is not about the availability of resources. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You have unlimited resources available today. Okay. And these same unlimited resources were available even 20 years back when I graduated from engineering college. Only thing, I had to get it from the books. Now it is all available online on your mobile phone.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is the only difference. Like if how we used to do it is, we used to go to the bookshop and we used to say which is the best book on this subject. Okay, which maybe the college is not teaching us, but there is a book for this particular subject which is the best book. Okay, same you have to apply here, but before that you have to decide what you want to learn. My challenge comes here when engineers ask me a question, and every day I get at least 10 to 15 questions in my YouTube channel,
Mhm.
and they will ask me that I've completed my BE, now what should I do? Okay, instead of asking me what should I do, they should come up with, I want to do this, how should I
Yeah,
do?
exactly.
Okay, because the challenge is that because they are asking what should I do, they're getting very confused about what they want. So, and I would say that your college or your educational institution is an experimental ground. Okay, there you will see all these different subjects. So you learn maybe C++, Python, everything you will learn. Now from that you pick what you like.
Mhm.
Okay, don't worry that will Python have, if they are teaching you something in the college, means there is an industry for that.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay, even
for
if there is
sure.
one small subject, let's say in the entire 4 years of engineering, you have one subject on agile scrum,
Yeah,
but there is an entire industry on agile scrum,
exactly.
right? If you become an agile scrum master, okay, you can you can have a very good career of 40 years just doing one thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's all about focus, I feel, before going to even these platforms, because once you're focused, then finding the information is easy. Then you can
Mhm.
decide, okay, do I want to do the free courses from NPTEL? Is that what I want to do? Or do I want to do a specialization from, like, I want a John Hopkins certificate.
Yeah,
Can I go to Coursera and take that certification?
exactly.
Right? So that's how you have to think.
So, Amit, as you said, like you got your first offer in 1995, I guess.
Right?
So let's go back to 1995, and
Yeah.
can you tell me like how hard it was to get a job at that time as compared to today?
Uh, it's equally hard. So first thing is that our college did not have much of campus. Okay,
Okay, your college at that time.
at that time I was in Bharati Vidyapit College of Engineering,
Okay.
and when I completed my BE, only two batches of engineering before me had gone ahead.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so I had joined the college pretty new when not even a single batch of engineering was out from that college. Okay,
Oh,
and our degree was from University of Pune. Okay, so this college was affiliated to University of Pune. Now there were no campus. There was a campus, but they said everybody who has more than 65% marks in all
all
years,
semesters. Yeah.
all semester can sit for it. It already cancelled like most of them. Like there were, I think, 10, 15 people at the
Okay.
most from electronics and computers who could sit in that exam.
Okay.
Okay, and out of that, I remember there was only one guy who got selected
Selected.
by
Oh.
L&T.
Oh. Oh.
Okay,
Oh.
and if you
Okay.
think about it, L&T was not even like a software company, kind of the software company people who
Construction
want to
company
go
or
to.
something. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so he was selected by L&T. But so I came out of college. It was difficult to find a job because there were no job boards like we have, no LinkedIn, no Naukri, no Facebook.
Exactly.
Okay, the only thing is Times of India career page, and you search
Okay.
for job. and my degree is in electronics. So I'm searching like if they are asking for electronics degree, then I can apply.
All
And
right.
there were no jobs. Okay, and if you see for electronics, so me and my friend we visited SEEPS, which is a software and electronic processing zone in Santa Cruz, uh,
Okay. In
in
Mumbai.
Mumbai. In Mumbai. Okay.
Okay.
So it was the software and electronic processing zone. It was an
Okay.
export zone, and we said, okay, all electronics and computer companies are here. Okay, we made some
Okay.
30 resumes. In those days, we
Okay.
even got our resumes typed from a typewriter,
All
not
right.
a computer, not a
Okay.
printout. It was a typed resume, and we took 30 copies, a nice envelope, put a cover letter, wrote the letter by hand. Okay,
Wow.
and went to all these. So we got a permission to go inside. You needed a permission, like we had a friend inside, so
Okay.
there was a pass saying, okay, he's a visitor. They are visiting my office.
All right.
Okay. And we went inside, and then we started going to every company and then dropping our resume. Half I'm feeling that nobody called us after that from those 30 resumes. No, we did not get a single call. Okay. It was
Oh,
just like we were trying to kind of, we are just experimenting that do we get a call. Nobody gave us a call. Then what I did was I thought that, okay, I want to get into computers, so I need to learn programming. And in
yeah,
electronics we had only one programming language, C.
exactly.
Yeah, so I started learning C++ and Unix
Okay.
from a computer institute, Data Pro,
All right. In Pune or
in
Mumbai itself?
mumbai in
Mumbai.
Mumbai, because I
Okay.
am from Mumbai. So
All
I
right.
came
Okay.
to Mumbai and I was searching for a job. So when I was doing this, uh, I was spending all my time in the institute because I didn't have anything to do.
Okay.
Okay, and hardly there were people in the lab. So there were only 2 hours of 4 hours of lecture in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like Monday, Thursday, that kind of. Rest entire day I used to spend it in the lab because
Okay.
nobody was using the computers, and students started thinking I'm the teacher out there. I'm like
All
the
right.
I'm like the lab instructor, and they used to
Okay.
come to me with problems and all, and I used to solve their problems. So I used to debug and solve their code in C++.
Okay.
So after 1 month, the institute came to know that there is somebody in the lab who is the lab instructor, and they don't have a lab instructor.
Oh.
Okay, so
Okay.
then the admin of that institute, she called me and she started talking to me. I said, you are spending entire day in the lab. I said, I don't have anything to do. What should I do? Okay, so I'm just sitting here and doing this. So she said, would you like to find a job then? I said, yeah, why
Mm-hmm.
not? If you can help me. So then they helped me to find my first job.
All right.
So they set up an interview. I went to that interview. Now that interview was with an antivirus software company, and at that time I didn't know anything about antivirus, and it was a support role. So
Okay.
I didn't know anything, and the interviewer said that, Amit, you don't know anything. Will you be able to do this job? I said, I'm an engineer. I will figure it out. Okay, that was my
Great.
like punchline, that
Okay.
I can figure it out. And he was
Awesome.
okay. He said, okay, I will give you a month. If you prove it in the month, then you have this job. Okay. If you don't prove it, I will not even give you the salary for that month. I was okay with
Okay.
that. I accepted
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah. I accepted it because for me, I just wanted a title that I was working in a software company. That's it.
Exactly. At that time, you don't have anything to lose also.
Yes, and I didn't have anything to lose because it is
Yeah.
as freshers, and my salary was half the salary of my friends. Okay, my
Okay.
friends who got placed in some companies, I was getting half the salary because I was not even worried about salary.
Yeah.
I was like, this salary has no meaning to me. I want to learn and I want to get into this.
Exactly.
So I got into it, and that was my beginning.
Okay. So that's how all your career started.
Yes, that's how my career started. And it was a
Great. So, like currently, students are like in engineering colleges. Okay. So, do you have any advice for a student who is currently in second year or third year of engineering college, so that he can just get a job instantly after he got passed out from the college? let's say that student do not have 60% throughout the year, so he
Correct.
is not eligible for his campus placements.
Correct.
So in this situation, what will you advise that student so that he can get a job off campus
Yeah.
without any, percentage criteria and all?
Okay. So for all those students who are looking for a job off campus,
Yeah.
one thing is very important is that focus on at least one good programming language.
Okay.
Focus on one good programming language and practice that programming language. Okay. Even when you're practice writing the code in that programming language, because what is going to happen is a lot of companies are going to test your knowledge on coding if you want to become a software programmer. Okay.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have marks is fine. Okay.
Okay.
Second thing is you make sure that your knowledge of data structures and algorithm plus object oriented programming is good, because
Alright.
this is the foundation of programming.
Exactly.
Okay. If you know this foundation and if you know just one programming language, okay, then certainly as a fresher you can get a job in a very good company. I'm not even saying joining a small company, in a good product company or in a progressive company. Okay. Just now I told you about that the growth of the industry is your growth. Same way, if you join a growing company, if it is small, when you join, let's say 100 people, but you come to know that this is a growing company, they are hiring people very fast, then remember that if it is a small team, you are going to grow very fast within this company within the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So that you should keep in mind as a fresher, and you should build your foundation very well so that when you go for interviews, okay, and before going for interviews, I have a hack, a trick that I use.
Okay. What is that?
Just before going for interviews, read the dummies book on whatever skills you are going to present.
Okay. Example?
Dummies book, for example, dummies book on, so for example, if you are going for a job which is going to do Java programming and you are good in Java, read a dummies book on Java programming.
Okay. So that guy is just, you have to Google it, dummy for Java.
Dummies, yeah, dummies. There is dummies series, right?
All right.
Dummies for Java or first steps in Java. You know the basic. Why I'll tell you. In the interview, it is not about how much coding you know. It is about explaining to the other person how much coding you know.
Exactly.
And when you read a book, okay, when you read a book, you will have a good way of explaining. The book will give you examples, the book will give you everything that you need. Like if he asks you how do you manage memory, okay, if you have read the book, you will, from that itself, you will get all the examples of memory management within a coding scenario which you can explain. Okay.
Exactly.
So this is a hack. And in fact, I use this hack even today.
Okay.
Okay, even after being experienced. Because see, if we are not in touch with certain technology, our interview can go really bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So this is a hack that you should use. Everybody who comes and asks me whether I'm not getting a job, I'm getting interview calls, but then after interview I'm not getting a call back. Okay. I said next time you start reading this basics book, any basics book, whatever programming language you are having on the basis of which you want a job, read a proper basics book on that. And dummies, why? Because dummies have a lot of examples, and the way the dummies book is written, it is written from a story point of view.
Okay.
It is very easy to grasp because it's very simple to read.
Okay.
It's written for people who are in like school colleges. Okay.
Dummy thing is very awesome for the students who are watching this video. They can just use this technique.
And this technique, so I do a live on every Thursday at 9:05 p.m.
Okay.
So when I do a live, there was a similar question and I gave this answer. Okay.
All right.
So there was somebody else on that live that day who heard this answer. She went, she did that, She
Okay.
read from a book.
Okay.
She gave an interview. She came back on the next live and said, Amit, I was able to use your trick and I cleared my interview.
Wow.
Okay.
Great.
And I have somewhere I have cut that comment and
Message.
saved it.
Okay. Yeah.
But she and I was surprised. I was like, okay, somebody, because people come and listen and watch, but how many people take action?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Is there any resume tips for a fresher because they do not have any experience and the company used to ask like only this much experience is allowed, then
yeah.
only you can come to interview?
Yeah. So for preparing your resume and even for finding your first job, if you're not uh, able to find your job in campus, then
Hmm.
I would suggest a book called Job Search Optimized.
Okay.
Okay, this is the name of the book, Job Search Optimized.
Job
By
search optimized.
Yeah, this is by an American author called Rick Gillis.
All right.
Okay, now what is happening is that most of the companies are using an applicant tracking system.
Okay.
So what happens is when you send a resume in an email or whatever format, this resume gets picked up by a software, and this software is now reading the resume.
Yes. So that is not like human is not reading that resume basically.
No,
Yeah.
because when you advertise any job on any job portal, you will see as soon as the job is advertised, there will be every day there will be 100 to 200 applications for that,
Exactly.
at least in the fresher level jobs.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you sort this, or any level of job, even at my level, if I'm looking at director of engineering or I'm looking at VP of engineering, even at my level, yesterday the job is released and today there are already 200 applicants.
Wow.
Okay, so what companies do, they use this applicant tracking system. This applicant tracking system will copy all the resumes, and then it will find the keywords and whether a resume has these keywords or not. So Rick Gillis, what he's done, he's helping you with building the resume which is good for the reader's eye also, and it is good for the ATS also.
Okay.
Okay, so he has, it's a quick read, it's a very easy book to read. But if you are facing problem with resume, then I would suggest to read this book. Okay, my
Great.
hack is, you know what I go and do, I find a popular resume. I'll find the best sample resume for freshers. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
in software development.
Okay.
Okay, and there will be articles, the author has written an article and they have submitted their resume. I will just understand how this is written, then I will create my own resume, but it will be
Okay.
based on that template.
Acha.
Okay, so it will give you an idea that what kind of, but you should also read the article because the author will say, you know, why I have said this, why I have done this, why I have done this, that way.
Great. 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 Let me ask you one hard question.
Sure.
Uh, what is your biggest regret in your life, in your career terms?
What is my
What do you think?
biggest regret? So, you know, I started a business in 1997. So I worked my first job, 18 months in the job, and then my friends called me and said, hey, Amit, we are starting a business. Will you join us? And I said, yes. Okay, so I quit the
Okay.
job and I started a software development company along with my friends. Okay.
Okay.
And this company, I nurtured and I built this company for 11 years along with my friends. Okay.
Okay.
But after 11 years, we were not doing financially that good, which I was expecting. Okay. So this decision was the toughest decision. Not that I regret it.
Okay.
I don't regret it, but this was the toughest decision of my life because I had put my entire being into this company. Okay. And I had built ultimate products in this company. After 11 years, to decide to quit this company was one of the toughest decisions you can call in my life.
But why you have quit this company?
So because it was not financially for me, it was not. I was not able to sustain myself financially.
Okay.
Okay, because I'd moved from Mumbai to Pune, so I had to, um, and then I got married and everything.
Okay.
So financially, we were not doing really well even after 11 years.
Okay. Okay. And
Okay,
you have left
so
your job for this business, right?
yeah, I had left my job for this business.
All
I
right.
was completely. We were doing so till I got married. We were doing fine as far as because I didn't need much to survive. But once I got married and then responsibilities were there, and then I had to also think about future, because in the end it's all about whether you are financially secure or not. So all security comes from financial security.
Okay.
Okay, all security comes from financial security. If a fresher starts thinking about financial security right from beginning of his career, then he will make a lot better decisions than most other people.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So,
I had not made that decision. So by after 13 years, so I started my career in 95. After 13 years I did not have any savings, no money, nothing.
okay.
Okay, so I was like, this is not going the way I want it to go.
So
Okay,
what you have what you have learned from this?
so I what I have learned, see, lessons is like, it's not that I don't know whether something else could have happened that I did not have to leave this. Okay, because at the moment when I left that, there were no other options available.
Okay.
Okay, so for me, the lesson was, so when you see everything in hindsight, okay, when you're, see, only once you come to the future, past always looks like, oh, I could have done this and this.
Yeah,
The challenge is you cannot change anything.
for
Okay,
sure.
so the lessons I have learned is that irrespective of whether you are going strong or you're going down, you have to keep yourself calm. Okay, in all your situations, because there will be time when there will be a up. Malab, I earned more income in a job than I earned in a business.
Okay.
Okay, I earned like almost 10, 15 times more than whatever I earned in a business.
Okay. So what was that business is about? Why your financially was not generating?
So we started a custom software development company.
Okay.
Okay, and 1997, if you understand, this was a time when Pune was going through the automobile recession. There
Okay.
were not much money into the market. People were not even aware about software. Do they need a software? So our
All right.
business started from convincing people you need a software, not about asking which software you want.
Mhm.
Okay, so we started in that era where people were not yet ready for investing in software. Okay,
Okay.
we got a lucky break in aviation. We got a break in aviation where we started making an aviation MRO product. Okay, aviation MRO is maintenance, repair, and overall product, which was the only software product in India for aviation.
Okay.
So in that field, we became number one. That product is still there in the market. My friend is still handling that.
Okay. Is
Okay.
it available right now?
Yeah, it is still available. It's called FlyPal.
Okay.
Okay, now it has gone through all the upgradations and everything, but when we quit, we broke the business, and my friend said, I want to continue. Okay, he was himself from Pune and he was able to manage in whatever was there, and then he said,
Okay.
okay, I'm going to continue. So he was ready to continue with that, so we said, okay, fine, you go ahead and continue. So it's still there. Okay, now I don't know, it's doing well, but even that time I would have wanted it to do extremely well, which I felt, okay, it's not doing, and I want to come out of it
Okay.
that way. So and we were selling that software for peanuts, because there were
Yeah.
some big companies trying to enter our market, and they were not able to enter because we were selling our software so low that companies were not able to enter. And that's the reason also, because of we didn't know at that time. Okay,
Yeah.
we didn't
Agree. Yeah.
know anything at that time. Okay, I will say the lesson is that if you are planning to start a business, then find a mentor, find
Okay.
somebody who's done a business, find somebody who's done this thing so that you don't um, face the challenges. You need a mentor who really is somebody who has your interest in mind. Okay, who cares for you.
Okay.
I'm not talking about a consultant, I'm talking about a mentor.
We can say that it is a great learning from you, what you have shared
Yes.
with us. But this is not the thing you regret the most in your life, right?
I usually don't regret anything. I'll tell you
Okay.
why. Because we cannot go and change past. So it's like, see, I am a believer of I can create my future. I can
Exactly.
write my own destiny. I'm a
Okay.
believer of that. Okay. Which means what? If I think about the future that I want and I keep working towards the future I want, then I will arrive at that particular future. Okay. Now, I was not able to do that in my business for whatever reasons.
Mhm.
But after I left my business, when I was taking individual decisions of my own life, I arrived at a future which I wanted to be like. So when I left my business, I had an income goal in my mind that this is how much I should be earning.
Okay.
Okay. This was very high from what I was making from my business. Okay. But it was, people were not even ready to give it to me. So I accepted a half the income what they were giving me of my goal. I accepted that and I said, okay, I will work towards this income goal. And within 2 years, 2 years and 9 months exactly, I arrived at that income which I had in mind. Okay.
Okay.
So within 2 years, my income had doubled. So from my business point of view, my income had doubled a lot. Okay.
Okay.
But from the time when I got my first job after my business, even to that 2 years, 9 month mark, my income was more than double.
Oh, that's great.
Okay. Within the short time. So,
Okay.
so that was there.
Great.
So I always feel that future is more important. And if you're working, see, progress is more important than perfection. So if you are making small progress every day, okay, and YouTube is a very good example.
Yeah.
In one video, you may have 100 views.
Exactly.
Okay. But when you're going to put 100 videos, 100 into 100, you're going to have 10,000 views.
Exactly.
Okay. So if you keep making progress, maybe at some point you will suddenly get a spike.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So that those moments will come. Like even in my job, that moment came after 2 years and 9 months that I suddenly got this spike. It's not like I was getting average increases throughout that 2 year period. No, I was almost flat, and then suddenly I got a spike, and then I got another spike.
Okay.
It was almost like a curve.
Great.
Okay, so that but that at that point of time, every day I was making progress. I was focusing on that is my income goal, but that is going to happen if I do my job well today.
Basically, there are many small companies in India,
Right.
like many software engineers who are working in small companies.
Correct.
Let's not talk about the MNCs. Let's talk about some company like IT Solution, Tech Solutions. Many are there
Right.
in
Right.
thousands or lakhs. We can say that.
Lakhs.
Yeah. So if a guy in that industry, let's say a normal software engineer in a small company, if he think of to become a CEO of that company or maybe a big MNC,
Correct.
so what will be the path of that guy should follow to be a part of that management team, basically? Or say, let's say he wants to be a CEO of a one company.
See, one thing is that if you join a startup,
Yeah.
okay, so when you're talking about a small company, if you're joining a startup, okay, and that startup, when you join a startup, the startup is going to come with the founders. Okay, the founders are going to remain the CEO for a very long time.
Okay.
Okay, so if you have patience to outlive the founders, okay, see, Satya Nadella is a CEO of Microsoft and Sundar Pichai is the CEO of Google, just because they stayed with the company for a very long time, and during that their stay in that company, they were doing some really important things. Okay, and probably they were working directly with the founders.
Okay.
Okay, so one thing is visibility. You have to be working on projects directly with the founder, because when the founder steps down, then will be your number.
Yeah, but if we are
Okay,
talking about a software developer, so
right,
he will be reporting to his reporting manager.
correct.
So
No, so software developer is reporting to his reporting manager, but a software developer stays with the company for a long time. He's not going to remain a software developer. See, you
okay,
cannot become, if you think that, okay, you are going to become a CEO, there are two paths of becoming a CEO. One is
okay,
you start your own company,
okay,
okay, which is a straightforward path. Okay, you start your own company as a founder. Okay, you bring the company to a good number of people. Okay, and you bring in the investment, and then you declare that you are the CEO of the company. Okay, because okay, if there are investors and they should have belief in you, and they'll say yes, we think that you should be the CEO. Correct. So that is one way to do it. If you are starting as a software developer, okay, now I forget the name of one person. There is a guy, I have a video on my channel which is the billionaires of India.
okay,
Okay, between 2000 was it 2005 to 2019, something like that. Okay, so I have the rise and fall of billionaires of India.
okay,
Okay, in that there is one guy, I forget his name now.
okay,
So he got a job in a company which wanted to make a gaming software. It was
okay,
poker or something.
okay.
Okay, a gambling. Okay, poker. So uh, kind of an online casino software.
All
Okay,
right.
based on poker. Now they said we don't have money. We will give you 25% stake in the company.
Okay,
Okay, this guy made the software, and this company really became a hit.
okay,
A lot of money came in, and because he was the technically sound the person ahead, he became the CTO of the company, the chief technology officer,
yeah, okay,
very soon. Now
okay,
that US came out with regulations and all on gambling and everything, online gambling. So this company faced the burnt of it. It had to close down, but before it had to close down, this fellow had divested his shares 25%. Okay, so he came out with $800 million.
wow.
Okay, so at one point he became a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
From a billionaire, okay, he came down to millionaire. But if you think about it, he started his career as a zero
Zero, yeah,
paid job. Okay, he was not earning money, he was just getting a stock option. Okay, now this really requires guts. Okay, if you want to do this. Okay, because now if you within 3 to 4 years, if you get into a company which is getting sold, or you get so much money, then you can might as well within 3 to 4 years go ahead and build your own company. Okay,
yeah. So
but
the
if you are a software developer,
yeah,
okay, one is you make sure that you stay with the same company for a long period of time.
mhm,
That is the way to rise. While you
okay,
are rising, first thing is to get into management. Okay, within management you have to move to different departments to manage different departments. Okay, and it is good to do an MBA in between while you are in this company.
okay,
Okay, because then your chances increase, because you have the complete knowledge of this company. Whatever size the company is does not matter. You know, when you started it was a 5 people company, now it's a 300 people company. Okay, or when you started already this company, like when Satya Nadella started with Microsoft, Microsoft was already a giant.
exactly.
Correct, but Satya Nadella stayed with the company. In between he done his MBA. He
Yeah,
was working for different product initiatives within the company, and I'm sure that during these product initiatives he was in touch with Bill Gates all the time. Okay, so who's the person who's deciding the next CEO?
Bill Gates.
Correct, because you will be surprised to know that Satya Nadella was not even in the list of people that the board had prepared for the next CEO of Microsoft after Steve Ballmer
Okay.
had resigned. He
Wow.
was not on the list. They were thinking of all different CEOs from different companies to become CEO of Microsoft when Steve Ballmer stepped down. Okay. And Satya Nadella's name was not on the list. So just imagine who told the board who we want for this as a CEO. Okay. So without being on the list, he became the CEO. And
Yeah.
there is a similar story of Sundar Pichai also.
Okay.
Sundar Pichai was having 3 to 4 different offers. He was having an offer, I think, from Twitter and some of the other big companies of that times, okay, for for becoming a CEO in that company. But before he could accept those offers, the Google CEOs decided that, okay, we are stepping down, we'll become the ex CEOs and we'll make Sundar Pichai the CEO because of his involvement with Android and the way he brought this Android into the marketplace.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's a revolution. Yeah.
Yeah. So uh, if you do something really revolutionary, then companies are going to think about it. Okay.
Exactly.
And one thing to do is study these CEOs, what they have done. Okay, study these CEOs, listen to their interviews, and they will share a lot of information about why exactly they were chosen. Okay, if you see IBM, an Indian is a CEO of IBM now. The
Yeah.
last CEO of IBM was Ginni Rometty. I think
Okay.
Mr. Arvind, if excuse me if the name is wrong, you can all tell me in the comments if the name is wrong. But I think his name starts with Arvind. I know it starts with A, but whether it's Arvind
Okay.
or something else, he's become the CEO of IBM now once Ginni Rometty stepped down.
Okay.
Okay, so if you look at Arvind's career, he was with IBM for 25 years
Okay.
before he became the CEO. Okay, same will be with TCS, same will be with Infosys. Okay, Infosys brought Salil Parekh from outside. Okay, but if you look at Salil Parekh's career, he's built other companies and he's been a CEO at other places, and then he was brought into this company. Okay, but you have to get into management as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You have to get into people management, you have to get into product management, you have to get into uh, customer management, you have to get into these areas as soon as possible.
So actually, I've posted this about this podcast in my Instagram.
Right. Sure.
So many people ask some question about this.
Correct.
So if you don't mind, I'll ask you some questions from them.
Sure. Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So there is one guy named as Prashant Subramaniam.
Yeah.
He's asking prerequisites to get into the R&D sector.
See, prerequisite to get into R&D sector is very simple. R&D sector means what? You are into product development.
Yeah,
What you call
research,
as
right.
R&D sector is you are into product development. Okay. So your foundations of any programming language should be very strong. If your foundations are very strong and you connect with a product company, then you will straight away get into an R&D center. Okay. If you join a services company, there are chances sometimes that the services company is having some kind of a project with a product company, and you may as a third party get into a R&D center. Okay, but R&D means what? You have to be a really good programmer first.
Okay.
Okay, because if you are a good programmer, then you become part of that R&D team. Okay, as a programmer, if you want to go into quality assurance and all, then that is a different path.
Yeah, that's a different path.
Okay.
Okay. So one other guy is Tamil Selvaraj.
Yeah.
He's asking, I've completed AWS course and looking for a job in AWS or cloud.
Correct.
But I'm not able to find that as I'm a fresher.
See, if you're a fresher and if you have completed a AWS course, I hope that you have taken the certification and exam. Okay. Because what will happen is if you have a proper certification of AWS, then the first place to apply is AWS itself.
Amazon.
Apply to Amazon. Amazon has so many jobs across the world. Okay, there are no dearth of jobs in Amazon across the world. Okay, find out, go to Amazon's career page, find out what do you require as a fresher to be able to work in Amazon. Do they offer internship? Do they have a particular set of step-by-step method by which you can get into Amazon? Find out that. But first is try to get into Amazon. Second, then you can do is look for AWS solution partners. Okay, look for AWS solution partner and find out within your city who's the solution partner who may not be looking for a job, may not be looking for a fresher, but they may say, okay, if you are a fresher, we are ready to give you a chance. You come and work with us. Maybe do an internship. After that, we'll decide whether you can work with us or not.
Okay.
Okay. So one is go directly to Amazon. Second is look for AWS partners, because then it will be easier to get into these partners.
Okay. Okay.
Based on your certification. But if you're not given exam, get the certification first. Give an exam.
Also, try to find a referral in the LinkedIn. That would be a great one.
Yes, that is an amazing thing. 80% of jobs are not even mentioned.
Exactly.
Okay, 80% of jobs are not even mentioned. Tell all your friends. Even if you were not good with somebody in college, make him a friend. Okay, make him your masiha and your resume and see that it goes ahead.
Yeah, because many times people put the resume in the career section, but hardly recruiter will see that.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so the last question is from Denzate Soul. She's asking that does your IT job gives proper time to being you? How did you achieve this growth and success?
See, for me, I was so passionate about software development,
Okay.
that I myself could not go to sleep if there was a problem that I could not solve that day.
Okay.
When I started programming, it used to happen that in the beginning, I got stuck at many places, but I could not go and sleep because of that particular problem that stuck. Okay, and there was no Google and all those things in our times. We had to solve the problem on our own ways by trial and error, by reading from books and such things.
Exactly.
Okay, so then uh, i would I would enjoy solving these problems. So for me, work was more like play. It's like if you're a cricketer, you will never say, oh, I don't want to play cricket. Sachin Tendulkar is just going from a gully and there are children in the park who are playing cricket. Sachin will stand there and he will want to play cricket with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
Passion.
That is what passion does. So first thing is always do what you're passionate about. Okay, if you feel your job is like a load, then you will always find that you are in the wrong place.
Exactly.
Okay, then the long hours will become like, even if you work for 8 hours, still you will feel, oh, my work is very hard. Okay, so I used to enjoy my job, and that enjoyment kept me in this. So for 23 years it was non-stop. Okay, some jobs were easy where I did not have much to do. Some jobs were really tiring because I used to spend 12 hours, 16 hours in their jobs. Okay, when I was building an MNC company, one US-based MNC company wanted to establish their software development unit in India, Pune.
Okay.
So I helped them set it up from 2010. That's when I got that jump. The one jump I said,
all right,
in my was because of that. So I helped them set up the entire software development unit. That time I had to work almost 12 to 16 hours.
Okay.
I remember in the night at 1 o'clock, I was messaging my VP in US that, okay, this is what we are working on. This is how it is going. This thing I will need tomorrow if you have to move forward. So I was trying to move very fast during those times. Okay. And then there are times when I did not have work. Then I just had to attend 1 or 2 meetings and it's done. Okay. So both things were there. But because I enjoyed this, because every moment of that time I enjoyed, I feel I was able to survive.
Okay, great. So I think I'm done with my all the questions with you, Amit.
Thank you, Yash.
I extracted all your learnings from you, and I'm ready to put this all learnings from my viewers. And thank you so much for coming in this show.
Yes. So, Yash, thank you for calling me on this show. I really enjoy a conversation. See, for me,
Okay,
this is a conversation between you and me. Okay. And
exactly.
right from the first time we met online on Zoom and we had a
Yeah.
conversation, it is,
Yes.
for me, it is a similar to all the viewers who are watching this. I would say subscribe to this channel, Code with Yash, and press the bell icon so that you get all the updates, and you are able to listen to interviews that Yash brings on this channel. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you, Yash, for bringing it to this channel.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amit, for coming here. Social media handles of Amit are given in the description box, including their LinkedIn and websites and musings by Amit. Everything is given here. You can check out those links and make sure you subscribe to Musing by Amit also. So
Thank you.
let's end this conversation, Amit. Thank you so much again for coming there.
Thank you.